Hello everybody, A-Spec here, and it's time to demystify some parts of Stellaris. The game has tons and tons of features that you've probably never heard of, but they're there and they can really improve your life during the game. This is why today I'm partnering with Paradox Interactive to find some of the more hidden features and show them to you. I'm pretty sure there is something new here for everybody who's watching. From the ability to completely automatically invade planets to building defense platforms in very strange places, well, get ready to have your mind blown. Armies are a little bit weird sometimes because instead of conquering a system, or right-clicking on a planet and then land your armies, there are better ways of dealing with things. Select your army and then click on Aggressive Stance and watch the army automatically invade any planet that is nearby, and then as soon as it's done with its invasion, it will automatically attach itself to a nearby combat fleet, which it will follow throughout every single system. You can change any queue on the fly. Let's say that we select this construction ship over here, and then we shift-click on a goal, like for instance building this here mining station, which is relatively straightforward, but then we decide, you know, it's probably better to build a outpost here instead. So if we have Shift-Control and then click on Starbase, instead of it moving to build a mining station here, it will do a Starbase. But instead, you know, maybe I want something else to be built, like, I don't know, a hyper relay. We still have Shift Control selected and we click there and it will now start building a hyper relay instead. Shift click will basically mean that anything gets added to the end of the queue. Control Shift will add anything to the front of the queue. You probably know that you can build defensive platforms on stations, especially if you've already upgraded them, adding defensive to them quite quickly and cleanly. However, did you know that you can also build defensive platforms on unreinforced stations? Just go into any system that has a standard station on it and just build a defense platform on it. It's super easy, you don't need to upgrade anything, and it doesn't add to your starbase capacity. Just go ahead and build those platforms. Plus, Ascension perks will also boost the number of platforms that you can build, which means that you can essentially turn your entire empire in an impenetrable fortress. Some systems are inherently dangerous, and if you automate your ships, then they might go into them, which is of course problematic. In order to stop this, you can go into any system and click on the little ship restriction button at the bottom of the screen. If you click this, the system will be highlighted in red on your world map, and basically no ship will fly into this system. This is incredibly useful if you have a lot of automation going on, and it will basically mean that this particular system will always be avoided, and means that you will no longer lose any ships in there. Also extremely useful during warfare if you want to avoid things like pulsars, etc. The outliner is completely customizable. Whether or not you want to have planets or something else, just by clicking on this little cog will take you to the outliner options. And basically we have this little option down here that says planet mode. Basically we can change every single icon in the outliner to better illustrate on what your needs are. Whether or not you want to have planet designation, your type designation, whether or not you need just the planet type, it is all there. In addition to that, you can just move these items around or disable them entirely. Let's say you don't want to have sectors there or your planets at all. You can just disable those. Easy peasy. Starbases, shipyards, holdings, all that stuff is easily changed, and on top of that you can prioritize things by just moving them up and down as you need it. It's very, very useful, very, very powerful, and it's one of the features that is generally quite overlooked. Being able to order your information is very, very useful. You have probably seen pirates within the game, but you have no idea why they spawn. Well, all of that is displayed in the trade routes map mode, because every single planet has trade flowing in between them, and because of that, piracy will pop up as well. And that's indicated by these little skulls, where you can see that there is in fact piracy in these particular systems. You can alleviate that by just going into one of your fleets and then go ahead and say, I want to send out a patrol to these particular areas. You can do that by just right-clicking on the system, then clicking on patrol, and then going to the other side of the empire. This fleet will now patrol and remove all piracy from your systems, or at least the ones that they are moving through. Planetary automation is not always bad. Sometimes it can be incredibly helpful, especially when it comes to dealing with clerks. If we go into the planetary summary and we go into the planetary automation and only have amenities selected, just click on automate. Sure, we will have the resources option come in. However, the AI will automatically start assigning workers based on the needs of the amenities on the planet. That means that they will automatically employ and unemploy clerks based on the needs of the actual planet, which essentially means is that they will automatically promote clerks into specialist jobs as long as there are enough amenities on the planet, which is incredibly useful and can be very handy in order to manage your population. The whole automation process is rather fine in that regard, so give it a go. Hotkeys are the king of space. However, sometimes you just want to group things together, and you can do so quite easily. Let's say that we want all these 3 fleets to be instantly selectable. Just select all of them, hit Control 1 number on your screen, and automatically a control group will be created. And we can navigate to that control group very quickly just by hitting the relevant button. In this particular case, the button number 7. And we can do this for quite a lot of things. You want to do that with a planet? Let's take a look. Let's assign this to planet number 5, and we can automatically go to planet number 5. Do we want to do this with, say, a mega structure, like a mega art installation? Just add it to your key list and we will be able to go there instantly just by using the hotkeys. This can be very useful in order to very rapidly move around your empire if you need to do so, but then again, you can also pause the game if you want, so that may be something that you want to keep in mind. Sometimes we just want to very quickly put together a fleet, and that's totally possible. Let's go to the fleet management button and then just select any fleet and copy a template. That can easily be done by just clicking on any particular fleet and then hitting this button. A new fleet will be added to the bottom of the screen, and we can just instantly reinforce that, and that fleet will be built, which is of course a copy of the other one. Quick and easy fleets are now within your grasp. If you are annoyed by the policy menu popping in and out all the time, you could easily just click on the little lock button at the bottom of the actual menu. This will automatically turn the menu into this stuck thing on the left, and basically it will never pop out ever again, allowing you to have some ease on your eyes. Of course, if you are a new player and you still want to be able to read what all of these things are, you may not necessarily want to do so, but for people that have been playing for quite some time, this may be nice. In addition, there's also this little cog where you can basically say where you want stuff to be in terms of priorities. Do you want to have the market at the top? You can do so. Do you want to have species at the bottom? You can do that as well. If you have just messed up, just reset everything and you can move everything back to the way it was. So you want to build more starbases, but your starbase capacity is maxed out. There is an easy way to increase the amount of starbases that you are allowed to build in the game. Of course, you can always build more, but the negative economical impact will be there as well. For every 10 systems you own, you will be allowed to build another starbase. Keep that in mind when you're expanding down dead ends in space, because getting 10 additional systems means an additional starbase. Space is really, really big, and sometimes it's difficult to keep track of all the objectives that you may or may not have. Thankfully, in the situation log, there is an easy way to find things quickly. For instance, on the echoes inside, in this particular case, we can instantly go to the planet where the particular dig site is. In addition, we can also track it on the map, so when we actually zoom out on the actual world map, we will always be able to see where it is. You can do this with everything if you want to. You can assign markers to every single location on the map and quickly find out where things are and where you may need to send a science ship. Stellaris has many quality of life features that are just hidden, and I hope that today you've learned something new and that I've blown your mind. If so, leave a comment down below or check out this video that's popping on your screen right now, and remember to explore a galaxy that is full of wonder.